So it is really my pleasure to introduce the next talk, Data in the Real World, a collaboration with Eli Lilly. Our presenters are Sara Bigelow, Hasan Kurban, and Christy Cavanaugh. So please put your hands together and welcome them.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm Sara Bigelow, and I'm with Eli Lilly. I'm a clinical data associate, and I'm actually a graduate from the IU Data Science program, which is what brings me here today. So let's see. So what I wanted to do after I interned at Lilly and took the data science program was to help create a collaboration to give students a better look into the pharma industry. So what we did was we made a special topic course where students would use de-identified clinical trial data to give them more insight into real-world work. So the course was only 4 weeks, so it was a really intensive course. We only had 25 students in it because it was a pilot program, and they utilized Canvas to work with the course entirely online, and we worked with the EDS department in order to organize everything. I said it right. Okay, so what students learned was a high-level overview of the clinical trial process. We introduced them to what happens in a clinical trial and how data moves from beginning to end. And we also went through the different use cases of big data and data science in the pharmaceutical industry at a very high level. And finally, their final project was a text mining analysis of query data. So query data is basically what it sounds like. We're sending a question to a clinical site, and they respond. And this is kind of an untapped resource at a lot of pharmaceutical companies. So we actually had a real live project at Lilly on it and modeled the course project after it. So some of the benefits were to increase student exposure to pharmaceutical industry, but we also wanted to strengthen the collaboration between data science at Lilly and IU, and we're actually still continuing to do that. I'm not going to go through all of the details line by line. So overall, most of the students had not taken any courses related to the pharma industry, but they were very interested in doing so. Right now, they have pretty limited options, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to help create something, and we're looking to expand it in the future. So in the post-coursework survey, overall, it was a very positive experience. Students liked the way it was organized, and that is in large part due to the EDS group. I came to them with a guide, an outline of the material, and here are the assignments and quizzes. How do we make it work? And they helped me organize everything in Canvas and put it together, and were basically my lifeline to the online program. And one of the other key pieces of success was the communication with students. Hasan was the AI for the course, and without him, they probably would have been lost. Being able to quickly respond to questions and reach out to me if needed was a great benefit, and students really liked that aspect. So we did have technical issues, of course. It was an online course. It wouldn't be normal if there wasn't. We utilized a virtual PC environment to sort of mimic working in a regulated environment, so they would have to use their credentials to log in and access the data, and it would all be secure. So of course, a handful of students had issues with that virtual PC. And one of the things we liked about our discussions was it helped to create a collaborative environment. So not only were we speaking with students regularly at EDS for technical support, or with Hasan or the professor, David Wild, on the course material, but we also encouraged students to speak amongst themselves because we wanted it to be a very collaborative environment, even though they were individually responsible for projects. That way they could learn together and share ideas. So some things that we hope to improve are making material more challenging in some aspects. So this focused primarily on text mining and a little bit on soft skills. But in the future, we'd like to add other data analysis mechanisms and expand on the soft skills piece, because that's definitely something lacking in a lot of data science industry. Skip that. Okay. So overall, as an outside collaborator, I was really pleased with the experience. Students were very actively engaged and wanted to be in this course. We went into it knowing this is a pilot. We've never done anything like this before. You are my guinea pigs. So we worked really closely with them, and we were very responsive to their needs. And since it was such a short course, if there were difficulties, being flexible, especially with due dates, if there were severe problems, because we had a few students that just could not operate the VPC correctly. And in the future, for expanding the course, we're going to look at adding in clinical results data, so the actual patient data that's been de-identified, and as well as real-world evidence data. So in this case, you're looking at electronic health records, claims data, really messy, unstructured data that they could do some more data mining and analysis on. Because clinical trial data is very regulated, very structured and rigid. So it's a lot different than what you'd expect in a lot of other fields. Would either of you like to say anything?
So,
It's good?
yep. So we do have time for questions.
I know, we have time for questions if anyone would like to ask. I had a really short presentation in case there were questions. No? Okay. Well, then we'll go ahead and wrap it up, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming here and listening to me talk.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.